Are you an inspiring entrepreneur that lacks the resources to land your first client? Or are you just in the state where you're having trouble monetizing whatever hustle it is that you're working on? Today, I'm gonna show you how to shift your mindset to make the most out of what you have. Recently, I agreed to help out my friend Andrew work on a Shopify store and shoot a couple product videos for him. Now, none of these videos are supposed to be anything too complicated, just really short and to the point that advertises product. We wrote out a couple of shot lists, we hit up a couple people that we could ask for favors for, get them in the video for free. Very minimal budget. When we first got to the shoot, it was really mundane and our cheap light situation and the natural light that we had at the time wasn't cutting it. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that shoot for you so that you can see what we were working with. I know, boring. But then everything changed. After shooting for about an hour, we found out that we weren't allowed to shoot at that location. But instead of looking at it as a waste of time, we thought, well, we have this guy, call him Skeeter. So we had Skeeter here right now and his son who was willing to be in the video. And we looked at this as an opportunity to market it to a completely new demographic that we hadn't shot before. Rather than just marketing at college kids, we saw this as a place to advertise towards the everyday working man who has a family, and we wanted to see how far we could take it. So Skeeter made a couple of phone calls and was able to get in touch with an old job that he used to work for. And they said that we could use their workspace for free. We said it was a school project, which you should always do, by the way. When you're working in situations like this and you're a college student and you're a filmmaker, just always say it's a school project.
Excuse me, sir, do you mind if we use this for a school project that we're filming? Sure. We just gotta shoot a quick little music video.
How do you want to do this?
Just get like next to it. Yeah, perfect.
Taking bitches home, fuck they sisters, fuck they don't.
Which I've done in the past where I've made a video that was from my work life, kind of a tribute to school, and yeah, to kind of just knock out two birds with one stone. Despite this setback, we approached this challenge from a state of abundance. And doing this allowed us to replace our lack of resources with a state of resourcefulness. Remaining optimistic and making the best out of our circumstances allowed us to take this boring, mundane shoot and transform it into this. Big difference, right? But what made the difference? Resourcefulness. Now, some of you may be thinking, but what if I don't have a nice camera or all these rigs or fancy editing software? Well, you don't need any of that stuff. When I started getting into freelance filming and marketing and all of that stuff, I didn't have any of the equipment that I have behind me. I would either shoot things on my iPhone or I would hit up one of my friends that had a camera and borrow it for the day or rent it out for a couple of hours. There's lots of free editing softwares out there, iMovie, just to name one, lots of free editing trials you can use. If you're a student like myself, you could use student discounts to lower your prices on Premiere Pro. And if you really are in a tough situation and don't have the money, I'm sure you could figure out a way to go on Google and pirate a software for free. But just remember, if you do happen to do that, I didn't send you there. If you're aspiring to monetize another hustle, such as growing an Instagram account, launching a Facebook ad campaign, or even trying to grow an e-commerce store, you can utilize 3 of the biggest resources known to man that are 100% free. I'm sure most of you have already guessed what these are, but if not, I'm gonna give you some time to think about it. Yep, you guessed it. YouTube, Google, and social media. Aside from having millions of tutorials online at our fingertips, we also have the ability to network and reach out to tons of content creators in our niche across the world at any given moment. So now we're gonna put our resourcefulness into play. I want you guys to pull out a notebook or even just pull out the notes section on your cell phone and put together a list of every single person that you would love to collaborate with. You're gonna take that, look over all of them, and fire off a message to every single one of them. Messages that showcase the value that you bring to the table. Going into the message already offering a service will set you apart from all of these desperate people that are just trying to get put on for free. At this point in our lives, when we're at that beginning entrepreneurial stage, you gotta be willing to put in work for very, very low cost, if not absolutely free, to start putting together and building a portfolio, which will be a great way for future clients and endorsement companies to review your current work ethic and overall experience. All of these suggestions that I'm handing out are from my own personal experience. The first music video I ever shot was done with a couple of my friends back home, and we were just shooting it for fun, not to make money or to get famous or anything like that, but we just did it for the sake of loving it and being passionate about it and just being stupid and expressing ourselves. Over time, I started posting all of my creatives on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and as time went on, my follower count started to slowly go up, and I started getting messages from people to shoot actual professional work. Now, over time, I started having the luxury to be a little bit more choosy and picky with who I would work with, because usually if I'm not super passionate about the song, I don't typically want to work on it. And I've been able to turn away people in the past, but I've also taken some jobs that I wasn't fully thrilled on. But in the beginning, it is okay to take some projects on that you're not fully thrilled about just to get that experience, but you want to get to the point where you're only working on projects that you're completely passionate about. And that was my goal, and that's where I'm heading towards right now. Learning how to shoot videos on a budget really impacted the way that I work on projects now. After a little bit of scripting and making a couple of phone calls, the artist and I are usually able to figure out what we could work into the budget, what things that we're able to go to the store and pick up at low cost, what people we're able to hit up for free, and overall what locations we're able to go to, scout it out, and kind of replicate what a bigger budget production would look like. As you move up in your field, your budgets get bigger and bigger, and you're able to do even more with every single cent that you get because you've adopted this sense of resourcefulness along the way. Learning to look at things and say, what can I do with what I have? It's gonna take you 10 times further than always being that person that evaluates a situation and says, well, only if I had this, I'd be able to make this so much better. Cut that out. Next time you feel restricted, I want you to tap into that inner resourcefulness. I guarantee you that there are way more opportunities surrounding you than what you currently think. Before I sign off the video, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. When have you used resourcefulness to turn a situation around? And what made the difference? I strive to bring you guys the best content I can and always want to improve, so your feedback means the world to me. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, post them down below. Lastly, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified for the next video. We all have the same 24 hours. What are you doing to maximize it?